there, comic book friends. I'm Travis.
And I'm the disembodied voice.
And this is
Monster Comic Review.
That's right. For books for the week of August 3rd, 2016. Right?
Yep.
That's what you cited? Aquaman! Issue number 4.
Things get worse for Aquaman.
I guess. I mean, he doesn't go as planned, but nothing's gone as planned. I don't know that it gets worse.
Okay.
He doesn't get to do what he wants to do because things start to go bad under the water. And so Mera gets tired of the shenanigans and politics of the landwalkers and breaks him out.
Yes, but before that, yet another thing has happened.
Well, yeah, because the Atlanteans were trying to check out the wreck, and the Navy SEALs show up, and neither side stands down. And well, actually, I think the Atlanteans try to disengage,
Yeah, I think so too.
but they'll have nothing to do with it.
You know, as far as Aquaman goes, it's fine, but it doesn't bother me that you're not getting it anymore.
That's good. Yeah, I mean it's okay. I mean there's some level of political. I don't know. So what? I guess is where I am at with it. I guess I don't want to talk a whole lot about the book because I don't want to beat it up either. Because it wasn't like it was awful.
No, I don't have anything against it. It's just
yeah. I'm just not all that interested in what's going on in it.
Yeah, I liked the
Really?
whole Spindrift Station thing, and that has kind of been taken away from them.
Right, they have to work
And that
to
was
get it
the
back.
part that I thought was interesting. So
Right. Yeah, there's been this nautical secret society that's been setting itself up since since basically the
the
Civil War era.
1800s, yeah. I don't care.
Well,
I
might
don't
be
know.
interesting, but the whose mouth it's coming out of isn't interesting, I guess. So, yeah. Anyway, you would have thought somebody like Black Manta would have heard about it too.
Yeah.
As steeped as he is in the sea and all that stuff too, so strange. Anyway, on to Batman issue number 4, where we start to see the effects of Psycho Pirate. Wow, for a second I drew a blank on the guy's name.
That's okay.
Psycho Pirate. We find out that basically that Waller was using Psycho Pirate. Of course, Psycho Pirate is a complete loose cannon, and was using Hugo Strange to try and keep Psycho Pirate in check. And of course, Hugo is an insane bastard too, and so all that goes to hell in a handbasket.
You can imagine how that went.
So we're quickly seeing the coming apart at the seams of Gotham and Gotham Girl.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, they gave us an issue of why Gotham and Gotham Girl are great, and gave us their back history and stuff. I think they did that to make us.
Oh, last issue.
Yeah, I think they
Okay.
did that last issue to make it mean something when they're having problems this issue.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Well, that and Batman was starting to buy in.
right, yeah. And I don't know. For me, it's kind of a typical Batman story. Don't make that face. What I'm trying to say is, it's God, it's so hard not to
punch me?
not to
You
invite
can't.
a hand.
You don't have a
very
body.
gently push you in the shoulder.
She was going to punch me.
I was not going to punch him. Everyone.
Fist clenched and everything.
Oh yeah, totally.
Comics,
not.
we're talking comics, not your
Yep.
domestic violence.
That's a whole nother show. I don't mean it's typical because obviously there have been other heroes in, but Batman's reaction to everything is kind of what you would expect. But I found some of the lines really funny this time around. For whatever reason, maybe I was just in the right mood, but I found that the bits of humor that were injected into it were funny to me. Like when Gotham Girl, the poor thing, is completely overwhelmed with fear. She's in the Batcave and she's screaming, and Alfred asked her if she would like some coffee.
Right.
And she's screaming no,
No,
over and over
right,
again.
right.
And he's like, perhaps tea then. And
Right.
it's just
Right.
so Alfred and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Alfred has a good voice in this.
Yeah, I think Alfred is probably still my favorite.
Oh, hands
character currently in this Batman, because I have not fully bought into
down. Batman doesn't have character.
into Bruce.
Well, I guess for me, Batman doesn't have character. Or when he does have character, it's not a character I'm interested in. I've been thinking about it the whole, Scott Snyder run, which was quite a long time. It's the most recent, clearly run written of Batman, and I had misgivings about bits and pieces of it and whatnot, maybe some storylines and stuff, but I always liked Batman himself, personality-wise and whatnot. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the tone and what the voice is supposed to be of this Batman, because I'm just not getting it. I feel tone deaf to it. Batman really isn't done in first person at all.
Right.
We get nothing of what's going on in his head, so we have no idea. Which is fine if you're gonna tell a story that way, but it feels really weird because Batman's a loner most of the time, right?
Right.
He's a
who's
loner.
gonna tell his
He's a
story?
loner, right? So we've left the narrator out, because typically in a comic book, right, way back in the old days it was thought bubbles. Now it's more narration blocks. But there's somebody there telling. Usually it's in their head. The Gotham is grimy today or whatever. So I don't know. To me, it just seems really strange. I mean, I think I'm liking every issue more than the last issue, but I'm not like, yeah, this hit it out of the park, or I'm on board now. I mean, I'm on board.
Same here.
I'm on board because it's Batman.
Right.
I'm curious to see what King wants to do or is gonna do. But I don't know. I mean, we don't have a whole lot of issues left before the Monster Man thing becomes a regular thing. I don't know if he's writing to write up to this event. He's already got a mandate from editorial that your first story has to lead into this. We don't care what you have planned. It has to lead into this somehow. I don't know. Because Hugo Strange and Psychopirate, you could get a really crazy story out of them, a really scary, really
seen them.
in your head, really all kinds of stuff. And I think King can write that. I think that psychological thrillers. I would say Sheriff of Babylon has a healthy amount of that in there.
He's a good writer.
The Vision
A very
does
good
also.
writer. It's just-
So I don't know what's happening here. I just don't. I'm confused by the book, I guess, is what it really comes down to. I'm confused as to not knowing how I'm supposed to be consuming Batman. And most comic books I can pick up and I get it, it's being told this way, or it's being told in this sense, and this doesn't have one.
And maybe that's just what he's used to, because if you think to the Vision and you think to
That has a narrator, clearly has a voice.
yes, it has a clear voice. This has a voice, it's just, it depends, like, it's Gotham, isn't it, that's talking about, isn't it Gotham at the beginning that's talking about the city? I mean, somebody is talking about the city.
I don't
And
know.
about it being grimy.
Well, we'd assume, not at this issue, but you mean at the very beginning when this run started?
No, at the beginning of this one, he's talking. Somebody's talking. And I don't remember who it was.
Oh, this is Gotham. It's Gotham. No, it's Gotham Girl at the beginning. It's actual.
Yeah, but I thought that was-
actual speaking
I thought
bubbles.
there was some actual narrative in there. I guess not. Oh,
No,
I was wrong.
no, it's all dialogue.
And no
There
narrative.
is no narrative.
You're
so
right. Okay.
and I think it's kind of been that way the entire way, which is okay. You don't have to have that. I mean, that's an interesting way to write. But I feel right now I'm kind of feeling lost. Is a sense as to how I'm supposed to anchor myself, I guess, in this.
Right. And what I was trying to say about his other two books,
Yeah, there's literally
is
not a narration box
that
this whole thing.
while there might be narrative, we're not in the Vision's head specifically.
Right.
And I don't remember.
But clearly somebody is telling
Sure.
the story. Somebody is
Sure.
documenting
Yes.
this is where it all went
Yes, there is some sort
bad or
of
whatever.
omniscient
Right.
narrative.
There is nothing in this though.
This is true.
There's zero narration. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the other 3 issues because there's zero narration in this. Which,
I feel like there's one in a previous book,
like the very first issue, maybe,
maybe.
because there's this whole no that may be talking too, because you get those pictures of the Cobra agents shooting the missile off and whatnot. But that I still think that's somebody talking. I don't think that. I mean, I think that's clearly
Right.
it's a word bubble off off camera, off page. It's not really just there. I don't know.
Do you remember when we used to rate books 1 through 5
Yes.
back in the
Back
day?
in the day.
Yeah, that's a solid 3. And it's not amazing, but I'm not willing to let go of it. And it's a 3 because
It's an average book, huh?
It's a 3 because it's called Batman.
No, that's not fair. That's
Well,
not fair to everybody else. Everything else that's getting
Fine.
rated. It's a
2.5.
It's a good thing we're not rating books,
Yeah.
because your rating system is wacky.
Yep. How dare I? Okay, let's go to Doctor Strange.
So what we do is we need a rating system and go, okay, so Batman is always top tier, and so it's less than or more than.
No.
Okay. I don't know. Batman's kind of I don't know what I'm gonna have to get together with the other Batman folk that I talk with and see what their thought is
That
on it,
sounds
because
like
I'm
a
just
plan.
kind of I don't know. Anyway, Doctor Strange issue number 10, Last Days of Magic finale. Thank God.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that's over too. It did kind of go on forever, and I really enjoyed the first, like, however many before it started.
Well, before they named it. Before they
Yeah.
named it The Last Days of Magic, when there was something creepy going on in the backdrop of his everyday life and the dealing with the librarian and all that
I
kind of
love
stuff.
the librarian.
And then there's this thing kind of creeping around somewhere in the background. Then they named it, and it became the forefront, like the design of like the the robot science things and whatnot. But ultimately, this story was just whatever. They run around for an issue and a half collecting all this magic crap, all these what's left of the magic and these magic items. And they were, what's the point? He shoots a few arrows and then ultimately goes, oh, this sucks. And then
Right.
and then the monster in the
And then
basement.
his-
Then the monster in the basement that he has a casual conversation with, oh hey, my enemy's your enemy. Oh, okay.
Yeah. The
Kind of a
the
thing.
monster takes him out.
Right.
Exactly.
Because the monster wanted to do in Stefan himself. And because he can't, he doesn't want the other guy to do it, so he takes the other guy out. And now he seems pretty complacent with the whole idea that I don't really do that either.
At the end, though, he's like, this isn't working, so maybe vengeance will work. But I don't know if it's vengeance against Doctor Strange as to what he finds satisfying. The creature,
Yeah, right.
the
So,
monster.
yeah.
I don't.
Still like the
It's kind
art.
of- it's
Still
kind of
really like the
weak
art.
for
But
what had a really fun, a fun. I love the fun kind of
right.
almost mod vibe of the beginning of it.
Yeah, it started out really cool.
Yes.
But like I said, once they named it Last Days of Magic, they just kind of went,
Because I liked this kind of, seriously, I felt like he was the mod, debonair, ladies' man.
It's called
Strange.
hipster now, not mod.
But in this, it feels mod because of the way that the art and stuff made it feel like that to me at the beginning. The way that the monsters that he was seeing were drawn, the colors they used. I don't know. He just didn't feel like a hipster to me.
Okay.
But I suppose he could be. I don't know. Anyway, I liked him.
Yeah, I mean, I still like the characters.
Yeah,
I just
me too.
his
And
story was kind of
We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah.
Because I like the book.
Okay. Harley issue number 1. What do you think of Harley issue number 1?
It's kind of like this is everything that happened in my past series,
Sure.
and now moving forward issue.
Right.
So
Introduce you to everybody, whoever was in the comic before,
Exactly.
in the prior 52 issues of the book, right?
right.
If you've liked Harley in the past, you'll like this Harley. I mean, the last 52, you'll like this Harley too, because they didn't change anything. Basically, Amanda Conner and Jenny Palmolante went, nothing's broken, we're not fixing anything. So 3 pages in, we get a Beaver joke, and I'm done. It's as simple as that. I'll get a few more issues that I'll talk probably in this exact same way about, because it's part of a package deal, and I'll be done. Because
Yeah, we've already discussed
it's
the
not
fact that
it's not my Harley.
I like me some smart Harley, and it's not that she's not smart.
Yeah, but this
But
is
she's
this is
just
all
too surface.
this is all
It's too cutesy surface.
right. It's not. It's just not for me. Clearly, a lot of people love it, and that's awesome. It's just not my style of
keep
book.
enjoying it
It's
if
not
you
my
enjoy
style
it.
of book. It does not hit. It does not hit my funny bones. It doesn't have some sort of biting commentary in it. It's just a lot of stuff that I don't care about. And continuing to use the Red Tool, who clearly is their Deadpool analog. I mean, that just makes it even worse for me. So
Yeah, I didn't really like all of those jokes at all.
yeah. Anyway, Green Arrow issue number 4. This book is moving right along. It's one of the
Yes,
double shipping
finally.
books. Finally.
Not finally, but finally a book of those books, the double ship. that
Yeah,
will-
double
that will
ship.
take
This
you
one's
forever.
just whipping right along. It's not feel like it's treading water anywhere, at all. And so of course in this issue, Ollie has got the laptop, breaks into it, finds out that the ninth level hell is a giant baking system. Basically,
Which Diggler already knew.
and we get Diggle and him have confronted each other. We find out what the rift between them was. Ollie's a dog. Slept with his girlfriend
Yep.
or wife or whatever she was.
We got that
Don't know.
impression, yes.
Right. So clearly some of Ollie's bad habits haven't changed at all. And so we get that, but they're kind of teamed up, because they don't hate each other.
No, I mean they're. I feel like they're kind of just forgiving like it's kind of it seemed, like they clasp hands and they're smiling. So I feel like.
Yeah, there was one moment and there was
They're-
almost too cheesy though.
They're gonna
Yeah.
choose to forgive one another.
Well, they're sitting on the rooftop and he helps them up. That whole.
Yes.
And then part of the reason that bugs me is because on that page it's the largest part of the page, so clearly that's supposed to be this emphasis thing, and to me it's like, yeah, okay,
Sure.
yeah,
So what do you think about what's going on with Emmy? Do you still think that she's
Yeah.
playing everybody?
yes,
Cool. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to finding
yeah.
out.
I
if
still
you're
think that because Emmy in this, shoots trank arrows instead of real arrows, and I still think I still just think she's playing the game. I think she is not really working with the 9 levels that she's still being a superhero. She's just not letting anybody in on it yet.
Cool. I look
And
forward, like I said.
Yeah, and in this issue, we also find out exactly how they end up. The bad guys are all these horrible-looking,
gross.
scarred, beyond belief kind of things. So basically, they're scalded. Their skin is scalded off to start their new life. And of course, I don't know if you've ever seen anybody dip their hand in boiling water. What it looks like afterwards, when it manages to heal up. That's what these people look like.
And some of them actually have their skin just hanging off of their bare skull.
Because that's what would happen if you
Yes, I get
got
it.
boiled.
And so and it doesn't look like it's just water. I mean, they boil them in some
Well,
kind of
sure.
solution.
Sure.
Is there some sort of magic involved with that? I mean, how were they even still alive and not feeling a ton of pain?
It's a comic book.
Okay.
That's I don't know. They don't
Just-
show any.
just
They don't
curious.
show any magic or anything.
I
They
know.
just-
It's just like, how do you do that?
Right.
And have
right.
them not die.
I'm just thinking I'd be happy with my old life because if that's what it takes to have a new one, what
yeah, I
nothing
don't
to do.
really need to be in the.
What
What do
no-
they call that? Is the rebirthing chamber?
Do something like that.
And that's where where Emmy tells on Canary. That's where she and
Yeah, well, they're destined for.
Oh, we're
except
gonna
they
get
aren't going to
boiled.
get a new life. They're just going to get. Yeah, see, here's this
Boiled.
giant thing.
But what do they call it?
Boiled. And the interesting parts is they almost make you. The burning lie. LYE
Yeah,
cleanses them.
that's horrible acid stuff. They
Yeah.
would die.
Yeah,
Normally.
but it
I'm trying to make sure I don't get in your shot.
the baptism chamber.
There we go.
But yeah, clearly. But they almost make it seem like, oh no, that she's in it.
Yeah, they
when you,
do give
when you
that
flip it
feeling.
over, they give this brief moment, and there's the kind of cheesy over the top.
That's the one I was
Where are
talking
the
about
buds?
where
Right.
they're just friends.
But yeah, no. But like I said, I'm liking the comic. I think it's moving right along. It's
It's about 1,000,000 times better than
than it was. Yeah,
the
prior.
previous incarnation of
Yeah.
Green Arrow. So
Yeah, for sure.
we'll take it.
For sure, some good fun. And next is Green Lanterns, issue number 4.
I just like this
What you
is
think?
more of the same. Like, I still like the characters.
Sure.
I still want to like the characters. I still don't really care that much about the plot.
Right. The ultimate threat. Okay, whatever, kind of thing. I still think we're beating the exact same lines over and over again about which each of these guys' issues are.
Right. Former terrorist, been to prison.
No, he was not terrorist.
Accused of terrorism, been
Right.
been to Guantanamo.
Right, and then the Agoraphobe. Right.
Yeah.
And so like I said, they don't need to be better tomorrow, but it needs to feel like there's some sort of moving forward and not literally having the exact same. Like I said, I feel like it's the same words that they're having with
But in
themselves.
the Justice League, she moves the water in the next book.
Oh, right. Well, yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
she's getting there, even though she can't make constructs. Which really, who cares?
So, Justice League, issue number 2.
Jessica moves the water.
Yeah, well, because there's earthquakes are happening and people are being flooded, and she actually does create enough of a construct to help keep Tokyo from continuing to be flooded and whatnot. We find out that the big bad guys, whoever or whatever, the Kindred, they've got at least 3 devices that are buried towards the core of the earth that are building up in energy. When they build up in energy, they create these earthquakes, and each time Cyborg has determined that each time they build up this energy, the earthquakes will be worse, so the next one's probably going to rip the planet, almost in half kind of thing. They need to figure out how to get down there. Because the Green Lantern's powers are spotty, their rings just kind of quit working occasionally, they have come to the decision that they need to go talk to Superman and have him do it because he's Superman. And that, to me, that's the threat that's here, the ultimate bad guy, that's whatever that is, seems fine. I mean, that's typical Justice League stuff. You got to have some kind of ultimate threat to inspire them to gather up all these heroes. But to me, the really interesting part of the story is the Superman part of it.
Yes, so we're going to get him. They don't say Superman. They say him.
Well, they talk about Superman though too. I mean, so because he's not the same guy.
Right.
Batman still
Batman
still has all these misgivings. No, not that they trust him. They have to use him.
Okay.
Batman makes that very clear.
That's true.
We're not trusting him. We just need to use him. Because Batman still has some serious misgivings over the fact is that this Superman was around at the same time the other Superman was. So why weren't there 2 Supermans helping out the world instead of just one?
Sure.
And also this Superman let the other Superman die, as far as Batman is concerned. So yeah, that's the interesting part. I don't know how in depth we'll really get into that. I hope we do, because to me that's the intriguing part of this book is that relationship of all of them, and Superman. But I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I like it better than some of the separate books. So yeah.
Oh yeah, with their individuals. Yeah, sure. Anything else you wanted to say about it?
Nope.
Nightwing. This is issue number 2. Issue number 1 was last week.
Yes.
We literally get not every other week, literally getting 2 in a row. Somehow their scheduling got messed up. I think they wanted to get them back all being released on certain days, and that's why we got a quick blast of this.
And I know last week I was wondering, due to chin hair similarities, whether or not Raptor is actually Bruce Wayne. He might not be Bruce Wayne, but he does reveal at the end of this that he is playing quote unquote a long game as well, and he understands where Dick is coming from.
Right, because he basically confronts Dick and says, "Look, clearly this is what you're doing. You're screwing off. You're barely doing what the Parliament wants you to do. I'm guessing you're out to get rid of them all or overthrow them or whatever. And look, maybe we're on the same team, but I'm looking at the long haul, because this is going to be a quick fix. I mean, he is responsible for turning over a ship full of slaves.
Yeah, and
Which,
he seems okay with it.
Right,
and
because he's about the long game.
Right.
You got to make sacrifices for the long game, and he keeps talking about how he's better than Batman, because that's the subtitle
Yes,
of the
better
book.
than Batman.
Is better than Batman, which I'm having a hard time buying.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of seeing Dick get beat up. Dick spars with Batman.
Successfully.
Right. If it probably came down to a fight to the death, Batman would win. But he's already getting the shit knocked out of him.
I know that's like one of your least favorite.
It is.
things
Well,
about
it just makes me
Nightwing.
angry. It just seems to be that's what Nightwing seems to be about, and so that's how the whole run was in the New 52, or at least up to 12 issues that I read. So I just tired of that continuing to happen.
Sure.
Have some faith in Tim Seeley, because he was part of the Grayson thing, that we're going to get something better out of this than that. I don't hate the book, but that frustrates me.
Yep.
That frustrates me. And speaking of Tim Seeley, today it was announced that he is signed exclusive with DC.
Well, okay. Then.
So he will be doing, DC proper and Vertigo stuff from here on out. Clearly, he's going to finish Revival, but
which is awesome. So.
But anyway, so what do you want to say about it? Anything?
No, that's all. That's all I had.
So we're just pointing out we read these books and now we're talking about.
Well, I didn't really have anything else to say. You kind of said everything I was thinking.
Suicide Squad Rebirth. Talk to me.
I don't know. Sorry.
It's pretty lame.
We saw
I'll-
the movie, and I don't know.
I'll call it.
Thank you.
I'll call it. I mean, the conversation with Waller and the president is marginally interesting. We get to the character part of it, to kind of show what the core team is. Whatever. But it's a rebirth issue, and I think all these rebirth issues, except for a rare couple, have all been really flat.
Yeah, so I guess we'll have to see, just like we have the other ones.
Williams also writes Unfollow, so you can write some interesting stuff. He wrote Martian Manhunter. That Russian Manhunter thing was fine.
Yes.
So I think we're probably going to hopefully get something good out of it. I mean, I was intrigued by some of the conversation that was happening there, so I think we're going to get maybe at the root of some, questioning some of the moral implications of what they're doing, and it not just be, glossed over.
Right.
Thing.
Like it has been.
Right.
in the past.
So yeah, hopeful that it'll be okay. Art was Philip Tan. Never top of my list. We'll see. I'm pretty sure that Suicide Squad going forward is actually going to be a main story and a backup story in every
okay.
issue, because Jim Lee is doing the art on the main issue and he can't do a monthly to save his life. So I'm sure he's probably only doing 10 pages a month, and somebody else
Okay.
is doing another 10 pages to spread his work out so he can stay somewhat on schedule, I would guess.
Okay.
But
I like all the characters that have been and are usually in Suicide Squad. So we'll see how it works this time.
yeah, so in this it's Deadshot, Harley, and Boomerang.
Right, those are the three that they've,
Right.
which of course,
And of course,
reflects the movie.
on the cover,
100%.
they reflect the rest. Most of the rest of the movie. The
Yeah.
only person that's not on there is El Diablo.
Yep.
Because you got Croc and Katana, which, yeah. Anyway, and the final one is Superman issue number 4.
I like there are a couple things I like about it, but
Okay, what?
I like the fan, the man, the kind of
The guy that runs the bar?
rough-hewn guy who's like,
Superman!
yeah, Superman.
With
he's
his
like,
Brooklyn accent
he's
or whatever
not-
that's supposed to
he's,
be.
and he's like, Superman's running away, but at the end when he's taking the submersible with his family in it
Uh-huh.
to the moon.
Right.
it's
That's a great shot.
He's got a plan. So
that was great.
I liked him.
Yeah.
He was kind of a fun alternate narrator.
Uh-huh.
And this is just all to save John from what's
The
his name?
Eradicator.
Yeah, the Eradicator, who is having more problems.
Well, the Eradicator, basically, his function is to save Krypton, and his version of saving Krypton now is to keep the Krypton bloodline pure, and John is basically an abomination of that. So he basically he's going after John. So John and Superman fight this thing. I don't know, it was a weird issue. I mean, I like it, but it was a weird issue. I mean, just the whole...
the fact also that part of
They're
his
holding
saving
all the-
Krypton is that he has all of the souls of Krypton inside of himself.
Right, he saved everybody.
He sucked them all
He sucked
in.
them all in.
Just the souls, man.
But
not the
that's
bodies.
his part of his power is he sucks in the bad guys too. I mean, that's what he was doing
Right, he was
originally,
trying
was
to-
sucking the bad guys.
Right, he was also trying to suck out all of the essence, the human essence of,
Right.
of John.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
the souls came out, but not the dog. So
Right? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what's next. I still enjoy it. I love the art, it being Gleason art, but there were parts of it that were kind of weird.
yeah, it was weird. I
I
wasn't sure. Like the souls at one point are
talking to
they're
him.
talking to Superman, and they're kind of being helpful in a way, or they're
Yeah.
happy they've been freed because that's not what Krypton should be. And-
Right.
Oh, and then there's also that chunk of kryptonite. Is that in this thing too? The moon rock.
Well, yeah, the moon rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's one of the things he had on display. The guy that runs the bar that's got a Superman museum in it.
Right.
It has a moon rock, which has got nothing to do with Superman. But lo and
But he
behold,
likes
in that
moon rocks.
in that moon rock is a little particle of kryptonite, which of course just screws of Superman, who's already in bad shape after having gone toe to toe with the Eradicator.
And also because doesn't the Eradicator kind of somehow focus on it because all of his energy is focusing on what part of Krypton is Krypton. There's some other thing in there about
Yeah.
it being part of Krypton as well.
Right. So yeah.
Still, I still really like the family dynamic, and
Yep.
so
Yep.
I'm enjoying the book for
Yeah.
that.
Sure. That's it.
Yep.
Thanks
See
for
ya.
watching.